What are you doing here again? Ah, yes, that's it. Probably more Hunter Hunter. And our group that have stormed the castle is slowly being thinned out. Shoot is out of the action, taken somewhere else. Morale has lost his pipe. So the question is, what can the others all do together to try and band through a little more? Killua is still slightly on edge after what Gon had said to him, so I don't think he's going to stay hidden forever. And the time is getting ever closer as to what we'll see with Gon. And with that said, with Nefer Patrol being ever so terrified as to actually complete her task for the king, is anything going to come into the way of that? We best find out. The slow footsteps towards a potential demise. Komugi just still on the floor. The fact that Gon's actually being so patient here is giving her that option to at least try and get through her task that the king set out. I don't want that ruined by any interference. But also the fact that they've got only one of the royal guards actually being hindered and kept at bay so far. Will Poof actually step down and not take any action with Gondest waiting so patiently? We will find out. Whenever you've got a slightly anxious or worried face like that, I doubt that would have went to plan like he would easily be able to achieve it. And she could not risk having Komugi attacked in this state, especially when herself can't actually do anything to stop it. A mistaken judgment made by the real guard there. Komugi is a collateral bystander in this. Okay, actually regaining his nen from electrical sockets. Think on the bright side, you know, glass half full kind of thing. Can't admit defeat before it's even begun. Does he want to get him involved into all of this? Has he even blinked so far? The fact that you got this tense standoff. If Patrol worrying about the charge that she's got in front of her, repairing Komugi. actually taking a step back. Not taking any chances. Don't move a muscle. The fact that Gon is taking charge of this situation like this. And if it's for the king, can he really decline? What, in the brief moments after the attack, did she witness? Okay, now we're playing even more of the waiting game. I mean, is Gon going to be okay with this? He told him to shut up. So he's willing to risk causing a altercation here, as long as he gets what he needs to find where the king is, do his duty. That 50,000 now. He's slowly growing accustomed to it. What's it gonna take? And also, it's we haven't seen this version of his little pulsing and merging of his body. That ass. Okay, so now we've got what? Centaur, UP, and with a riding helmet. Scythe blades, whatever the fuck that shoulder plate is. Well, he's gone through a bit of a metamorphosis. This is good thing there's still some smoke around here. As long as there's a few bits of smoke soldiers around to take his attention. I mean, there'd still be a time where it goes bankrupt. 3 minutes 50 seconds, I see. You just need to hold out until then. But almost no smoke soldiers left. Can they withstand 3 minutes of this? He's having fun. Doing it slowly. It's not just lashing out. 200,000? Lashing out with wanton disregard. He can't do too many amazing feats with his ability there. Oh god, we are almost out of distractions now. I'm not sure what I think of UP's current state. I mean, part of his design is kind of neat, but other bits I really don't like. They've been fighting for a while. He's been putting everything on the line, and it's come down to this. To compartmentalize his rage. I like the idea if he uses rage as his kind of driving force of power, but it's not completely overtaking him. Actually giving them a bit of praise there. But yeah, UP not really sensing the, well, not having a proper sense of battle before, now having all of this thrust on him. Must have been having fun. I'm sure it came to great solace for him. Can't risk having anything else happen. If they're a little less interesting to him, could leave him to crawl across the floor. But with that holding for so long, what now? Also, what is the reach on that thing? If he just went to the ground, is it gonna go over him? Missed him, but not quite. Did he actually land the blow? But we had. It's God's accomplice at play again, is it? Whenever things just seem not quite true and just disappear. I mean, he's coming to some good conclusions. Means he must have had help. It's not the first time that he's encountered it. It was already worn out, and oh yeah, the blood drops aren't connected to it, so we'll just follow that trail. But he was already worn out, and now he's been gravely wounded as well. Mm-hmm. And considering how he's following a trail of blood, the wound on Meryl's back doesn't actually look that deep. Maybe they had to stop it because of the like censorship or something. Giving them a moment more. Even if it is to raise up the interest and bankrupt him as soon as possible, we can't just stop and do nothing anymore. He's making a deal with them. It's the right thing to do to cut them down and not cause any more issues, but Is he much of a diplomat here, able to? Well, about that, I mean, it seems like a fair trade on Yuppie's part, but you can't exactly. It's you can shout as much as you want. It won't get through to him. Dropping out of being disguised like that. The fact he's giving him that moment, like, don't screw this up because of personal feelings about everything that's going on, would have went for nothing. There was chance to actually complete their goals and everything that they wanted. Pop. Did he actually just make that deal? Well, now is there a chance of reactivating the APR? He's had his fun here. Are they now friends? I see the deal was set, actually taking away the ability there in bankruptcy. Seems to have somewhat have worked out. At the minute, yeah, there would be a vast discrepancy between them. Is it his? He's angry that his role here, the fact he would meant to have eliminated any threat. He's got a bit of respect for them. Wow. The fact he had grown a little, in in a sense. Well, so he's grateful for them. The idea that you've got characters like this maturing or whatever during the middle of a fight. Interesting, it's not just a fight to the end, etc. Provide some medical aid He's bleeding quite profusely. Oh, he's going to be a little annoyed. The plan went to hell. Do what little they can now to actually not get anyone in the way of the chairman's fight. This is one order that he can't actually fulfill. I feel like the feeling is slightly mutual. He respected their resolve. He's such a pure soul, that boy. Ha. Ah? He's seen better days. I mean, he's been keeping an eye. Good. Yeah, we got shootout that way. Having Morero taken out as out of danger as well. Well, at least the plan is somewhat going ahead nicely. Still haven't heard. You need to find a cargo. He knows a little bit more. I mean, they've got lost. Well, Knuckles lost his will to fight Yuppie, but there's still stuff that they can do. Hopefully, nothing actually interferes with this slow descent into a portal. I mean, they are staying behind in this hellhole where Nov lost his bottle long before. Then we got the music. I spent so long battling with him. Time to test the waters with another one. Who would have thought that Yuppie, the most simplistic of the royal guards, just no thoughts, only smash, has taken everything that he's learned from their fights, being grateful for it. Under different circumstances, maybe things could have been different. And with Yuppie now trying to get his way to the king, is there a way of... Does he even know what direction to go in? But also, there's nothing in our way from delving into the issue with Poof and Nef Patrol there. I think I know what we're focused on next time. God damn, that episode. Poof actually holding back and figuring out what's going on with the situation. Nef Patrol telling him to, stay there, don't cause any trouble. Komugi will be in grave danger if he does. Personally, though, would he really care? I mean, he doesn't really like the girl, and the king gave the order to Nef Patrol, not him. So, whether or not he's actually able to take out Gon, defeat Gon, or Komugi gets fucked up. To be fair, I don't see why it's like a win-win to him, isn't it? Plus, then he can just blame it on Nef Patrol if the king gets a bit upset. The idea, though, that Knuckle was willing to sacrifice everything, the plan, his own life, everything, to save Morale, his teacher. I'm not sure if that should be commended or not. I mean, sure, he's got a certain level of bravery, but holy fuck. As was mentioned, everything that they have went through, everything that Shoot did, and Knuckle and Morale and Melioron and everyone, up in smoke, because now you can't really defeat Yuppie. Granted, the entire fight here has been kind of unnecessary, considering that the king has already long gone. They could all just sit down for a tea party and wait for that to actually occur. But Nov, he's seen better days. He could do with some, definitely not sponsored by, but keeps. The male hair loss prevention something or other, I don't know. Stress is one hell of a thing. He needs to stop picking at it if he wants to keep what little he's got left. But the fact that the aura that he came up against did that to him. He must have a great sense of regard for the others, considering that they've withstood the attacks of the Royal Guard and are staying behind to continue. Unlike all the other Chimera ants, it's interesting that they actually played out the way it did. The fact that we had that they can't speak telepathically like the other ants actually come into play here. So being separate, I mean, it seems like such a useful ability. They're here to protect the king, so being able to communicate with each of the guards to see where their positions are, what they're encountering at any point, it would make them too overpowered. So yeah, not being able to tell people what's been going on. And I definitely did mention it during the actual episode, but the fact that Gon is effectively doing the job for 3/4 of the team by himself, keeping 2 members of the Royal Guard locked up and busy. Would anyone else have been able to manage that? Just for sheer focus and concentration on the task at hand. He's got a lot more than just the mission and getting the Royal Guards and the King and blah blah blah. No, he's here for Kite as well. Nothing's gonna deter him from that, even if it means accidentally hurting his friend with stuff that he's saying. But it's good that the electricity is still running, considering the state of the palace. I'd kind of expected some of the electrical lines to have completely blown and gone out, so good that Killua can recharge. Maybe carry a car battery or something around with him for a quick boost of power. And kind of like battles of old, where you had certain ways of intimidating your enemy, having lines of prisoners on your front lines cutting off their own heads, for one. The Scottish wearing kilts are another thing, but I think if Killua was carrying a taser into battle and started zapping himself before the fight began, or something, he'd be like, something's not right here. It'd definitely throw off the flow of things. But yes, what an interesting battle with... It's not just a head-to-head, back-and-forth battle to the death with the Hunters and the Royal Guards. There's growth on both sides. So much so that Knuckle has lost the reason to fight, at least against Yuppie himself, and Yuppie growing to almost a civil level, if he didn't have hooves and a giant scythe blade. You've seen him go through so many stages, almost grow into his own little ant. But what are we going to see next? The fact that they got so close and yet so far from actually achieving goals. And while Yuppie might not be in the mood to fight Knuckle and Morale and whatnot, what about anyone else that might cross his path? Remember, Gon still needs to apologise after all of this. Are we going to get it? And time will tell, but if you've enjoyed this episode, let me know. Leave a like and a comment down below. Consider subscribing to the channel. It really does help. Make sure to get yourselves a bit of rest. Maybe join onto my Discord. But for now, just take care of yourselves, so that I can see you in the next one. If you would like to help me grow and mature, and not through the heat of battle, consider joining onto my Patreon, because each and every one of you that have done so far has added that extra bit of understanding, which actually has made me able to appreciate all of this a little bit more. So I do need to thank Noku, Raywin, Sal, Cardboard, Shiwan, Mats, Acne, Guado, Danny Swee, Lightwizard91, Kite, Diego Zenhausen, Tori Jane, SZ9870, Croyville, Maxwell, Mega42, The Hazel 01, everyone else. I just hope by the end of this, I at least stay bipedal. If maturity and understanding comes with becoming digitigrade and a sudden longing to run in the fields, I think I'm good, actually.